situation was quite like bad for us to keep our relationship, you know, like she was really depressed for occupation. And,
I found it hard to find happiness in things, and when you are in that dark space, it takes a toll on the person you're with. We would argue a lot, and I brought Jin's mood down a lot, and I didn't know how to fix my situation. So we were quite close to breaking up around that point.
She's my baby, she's my honey, she makes life all so sunny. She's my baby cat.
Hey guys.
Hi guys.
This is Hattie.
Welcome to our channel. We're going to talk about something quite serious.
Yeah, because to be fair, we're quite positive vibes around our channel. Today is a special day for bringing serious and
Please stop the zoomies. So today we have a lot of questions about yeah, Cleo. We thought, what, baby?
Cleo! Our daughter doesn't like
She's like,
let
don't
us.
say it. We thought we would talk about the time that we did almost break up and how we moved past that as a couple and how it made us stronger.
We want to share our story with you.
I feel like nowadays, not that there's anything wrong with it, influence on having lots of boyfriends. That sounds really bad.
Oh yeah, like enjoy your life.
Be a hoe, live your life.
Yeah, that's not
but
like...
we would like to just explain to you how we work through our issues instead of breaking up. If this is help you in the future in your relationship. Shall I start?
Yes.
Hey guys, so we first met in Seoul when we both lived in Seoul, and it was very convenient and we lived very near each other, and I was doing my teacher training, so I was free on the weekends, I was free in the evening. Jin was a student last year of university, so we had a decent amount of time to hang out.
Yeah.
But after 1 month, I moved to a city called Chuncheon, which is maybe an hour and a half away on a train. It's not like a subway, it's like a long distance train. So geographically, we were quite far away. And I have to be really careful how I word this. I started working at a school that was detrimental to my mental health, and it wasn't what I was told it would be. Very depressed and very, very homesick. My living conditions were not reflective of what had been promised.
As you guys can see past videos, basement floor, moldy.
A lot of mold, a lot of cockroaches, a lot of insects. And when I first arrived there, I was put in a temporary apartment that had nothing inside of it. I mean, absolutely nothing, apart from a mat on the floor and an unplugged fridge. So I was already very shaken. And then finally, after 3 weeks, I moved into my actual apartment, and there were cockroaches and millipedes with thousands and thousands of legs.
This time period is about 1 month, and after
2019.
Yeah, after 1 month for dating, she moved to Chuncheon, so was suddenly quite depressed.
So I had a really great experience of Korea up until that point, and as soon as I moved, I wanted to go home. I didn't want to be here anymore, but I knew that I needed to try and finish my contract because I wanted the money to pay for my drama school in England, and I didn't want to give up. So I thought I'd try and get through it, except it was the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my life. Yeah. And I'm in therapy today still because of the trauma.
We actually go together.
Yeah.
Different hospitals, but we go for different issues for together.
Yeah. At this point, it was probably around Christmas 2019. I wasn't able to go home because we only had a week vacation at the Hagwon I worked at, and that wasn't really sufficient amount of time to go home unless I did like a flying visit. Jin was in his last year of university, so he was very stressed, and he also didn't know what job he wanted to do after university. And there's quite a lot of pressure on graduate students in Korea that they need to have a good job to go into after they graduate.
Yeah, we're having really quite high pressure for that.
Yeah, and there's a severe lack of jobs. So Jin was super stressed. So at this time, Jin would travel to my city 2-3 times a week. He'd stay the weekend, and then he'd come on a weekday.
All the time, like come over to Chuncheon 2 hours and go back to my house 2 hours. And my parents were really mad at it because in Korea that's not normal to do that, to coming over to your girlfriend's house and sleep over all the time. Like that's like, some parents are not, but we're quite conservative.
And obviously I was in a really depressed place, so
the situation was quite like bad for us to keep our relationship, you know, like she was really depressed for occupation. And
I found it hard to find happiness in things, and when you are in that dark space, it takes a toll on the person you're with. We would argue a lot, and I brought Jin's mood down a lot, and I didn't know how to fix my situation. So we were quite close to breaking up around that point.
Yeah.
purely because of the place I was in my life and the place Jin was in his life.
Yeah.
Wasn't the most mentally positive for both of us. However, we agreed quite early on in our relationship that we would do whatever we could to make our relationship work, and we would always try. And we actually stuck by this. We, Jin especially, decided to put in a lot of effort to make weekend dates because I wasn't available during the week because my work hours were 10 hours a day, which was long and I had no break.
Yeah.
So Jin made weekend dates for us. And the most important thing that Jin did was that he sat down with me and helped me make a plan for how I could get out from my job.
Yeah, also how like we wanted to like do what we actually want to do for our life. So for the same point we were looking for, and was that we want to do something creative and like, try things in front of people and show our like talent. So I was like also doing my own channel as well at the time. So I was like, why don't we try on in YouTube platform? Let's just do it and let's just tease each other and like be fun and like show our only positive energies to people so we can make people to be happy.
Yeah.
You know?
I felt so sad, and you could see that I felt so sad. We wanted to create somewhere that we could help other people not feel so sad.
Yeah, so we can actually make people who are like in similar situation, especially international couples are suffering a lot for many situations. We really understand. Also normal couples, you know. And after that, like we tried really hard for what we enjoyed, and we
focused on what made us happy, and I tried my best to maintain as positive an attitude as I could towards my job, and focus on, my mum told me this, to focus on the tiny positive things that happened in my day. For example, one of my students would give me a chocolate, or maybe I had a really fun class that day. I would remember that, and I try not to think of, oh, I have another 10 hours tomorrow and another 10 hours after that and another 10 hours after that and I have no break. And this is not what I came here for. So I just thought, suck it up. What Jin made to help fix our situation and give us somewhere we could be creative has turned into Jin and Hattie. So I just want you guys to remember that if you're ever in a hard place in your relationship and you feel like you're breaking up, there is always something that you can try to do to fix it. If that doesn't work, then that's fine. Cut your losses, move on. But
yeah,
try.
even if the situation was quite bad for each other, we still loved each other.
And we had hope we could change our situation. That was the main thing, is that we had hope that we could fix it.
Also,
not every relationship has to be perfect. Often when you go through times of suffering together, as long as they're not inflicted by the other person you're with, if you go through suffering together and you work together to get out of it, then it can make your relationship super strong.
And
Might
like,
get married.
we're not perfect either. Like always it looks perfect, like with only like videos we post, it looks perfect.
Does it? Be humble.
I mean like not that way, but you know, behind scenes we're here for saying only tiny bit of our crease here.
We didn't want to be too much of a downer, but we just thought we'd share with you some of the struggles that we faced. Always have hope. Hope is the only thing that will get us through. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for subscribing to Jin and Hattie. Thank you for being a Jinty. Thanks for just being a lovely person. If you give us a thumbs up, or if you comment on any of our videos, or if you inbox us, we see all of those and we really appreciate them.
We read every single comment, and also thank you for being
I read all of my DMs on Instagram, by the way, every single.
And also thank you for being in the same century with us, so we can actually share a life.
Share our time.
Our time. Doctor Strange.